Thank you everyone for coming tonight. Bezrat Hashem, just really quickly for the sponsors. Bezrat Hashem, Hashem should give a big Yeshua for whatever Eliyahu ben Giti needs. Hazako Baruch. Also for Moshe ben Sarah. Bezrat Hashem Shidduch for Nathaniel Yaakov ben Sarah. Also Refuah Shlemah for Harav Eliyahu ben Malkos Altanad. Amen. So Harav is saying, Bezrat Hashem, also we have this every Tuesday night, and if you're not in the WhatsApp group, let us know. We can add you to the WhatsApp group so the videos get posted in there. So Harav is saying in the Parsha that Chanan, over there, Hashem tells the Jews, I think it's talking about the Parsha of Shema. Over there it says, learn Torah, make it part of your lives, teach your kids, so on and so forth. Harav says you need to do this even when you're walking, sitting in the street. There shouldn't be any wasted time where you're just not, you have the ability to, but you're not. In the morning, at night, constantly. So why did Hashem make this such an important commandment to learn Torah and to really, really always be teaching it, thinking it, learning it, into it, keeping the mitzvah? What's the thing about it? Harav is saying, look, this world is all an illusion. It's a very, very good illusion. All fake. It's all a misrepresentation that your eye sees. Harav is going to give us some examples. He says if you look from here, you look at the sun and the moon, they look like around the same size, the width. But we all know that the sun is like 1.3 million times bigger than the size of the earth, and that the moon is 1/5 the size of the earth. So when we look at them, they both kind of, within the same distance, they kind of look like the same size. From here, from where we see, without telescopes and stuff. So the reason for that is the distance from the sun to the earth is much further away than from the moon to the earth. So I think Harav said if the sun almost, it's like 8 light minutes away from the earth. So if the sun was to shut off its light and to turn it back on, it would take 8 minutes for the light to reach earth. So there's a lot of things that looks to be, it looks to be something, but it's really not. It's really wrong. Also, like for example, what we said, the sun and moon, how they're not equal. So the stars also, they look like they're small, little, like smaller than a pea. But many of the stars are millions of light years away. I mean, the distance from here to the sun, those stars, like if it was to turn off its light and turn it back on, it would take millions of years to get back down. So why do we see it so small? Why does it look so? Because of the distance. It's because our eye, we don't know, we get tricked by the eye. We're looking at it, it looks very small, so we think it's small. I think Harav said even some of the stars are bigger than the sun, I believe. And that's what Harav said too also, right? Some of the stars are even bigger than the sun. But again, it's the millions of years of light distance away, so the distance makes it look smaller. Anyways, also Harav said, I forgot what the word for this is. You know when you go in a desert and you see like water reflection on the asphalt? Or, what is it called?
Mirage.
Mirage. You see a mirage on the floor. I thought that's the word for it? I thought there was another word.
Sarah. In Persian it's called
Sarah. In English it's called mirage. When you're in it's like for example, another illusion that hits the eye. Whenever you're walking in a desert and you look from distance, when the sun is beating on the sand, you look down, you see you see waves of water, which looks like to be a water. You even see reflections in it. So you go closer, you see there's nothing there. Another illusion on the eye. Also, this happens on our streets, in asphalt. You go to a wide enough road and the sun is beaming down. You look. It looks like there's like a water, like a river or something. You even see if a car passes by, you see the reflection of that car in that what seems to be water. The second you go closer, you see there's nothing really there. It's all illusion of the eye. Why does this happen? Because the sun that hits it in a way, because the heat of the ground and the sun, it gives us that illusion. So Harav's point on all this was, this world is also an illusion, just like all these things we just said. Harav is continuing, he's saying that, just like we said that those illusions that exist, we looked at the stars are very small, as if they're very small, and because they look so small to our eye, but realistically they're a lot bigger. Just like in this world, there's many illusions that they think, oh, these are good for us, it's going to make us happy, it's good, it tastes good, it looks good, or whatever. I think Harav was saying, I was really paying attention in the beginning, I was looking at a thing, I think he said if you steal money, or you take a wallet, you find a wallet, anyways, it's something you steal money. Harav said, oh wow, look, you find the money, the Yetzer Hara comes to you and says, wow, look how lucky you are, your money got paid, look at all this money you found, you're going to pay off your credit card debt, Amazon bail-in, own ABCD, take it, buy a car, don't worry about it, it's how good is it, look, it's so good, you're so lucky. The Yetzer Hara comes and gives us that illusion that, oh wow, there's water down there on that road, but realistically, if we get closer, there's nothing there. The Yetzer Hara is just playing a trick, just like those illusions that we see in the eye. So what is there to tell us that there's really nothing there? When we see that mirage on the floor, we can walk there and we see that there's nothing. But when it comes to stealing or something, we don't know. There's no. How are you supposed to know? Torah is that clear and clean answer that it gives you that, hey, there's nothing down there. Don't walk it just because it looks like there's a little bit of water there. Or don't take that money because it looks like you can take it If you steal, stealing is going to be A, B, C, D. It's bad for you because of this, bad bachti, whatever, so on and so forth. So, the Torah breaks the illusion of the eye. Also, the Torah tells us other things, like for example, orla. Orla is whenever there's a fruit tree that you plant, the first 3 years you can't eat the fruits. Forbidden. But to us, what do we know? If it wasn't for the Torah, it looks like a tree, it gave a fruit, looks really good, good looking fruit, good tasting, we're going to eat it. What's the problem? But the Torah says no. For the first 3 years, it's asur. You have to get rid of it, you have to destroy it. I think Harav said also for those that have fruit like gardens of fruit trees here and also in Israel, I think he said like in order to stop this, the first 3 years, what do they do? Like they cut the branches or they break the branches in a way where it doesn't grow the fruit for the first couple of years. And then after the 3rd year, they let it go and it starts growing like crazy and giving really good fruit. But regardless, Torah is the only one who warns us about the dangers and tells us that it's all a mirage, it's all fake. Don't fall for this, what seems good to the eye. Example that Harav brings. Harav is saying that, for example, there's a really good ice cream. I don't know, Haagen-Dazs, In-On, whatever's really good. Look at it, it looks really good. Double chocolate chip fudge, whatever you like. You're about to go in it. But then your dad and your brother come and tell you, someone who you really trust says, wait, don't eat that, that's poisonous. If you eat that ice cream, what's going to happen is there's a little poison in there that after you eat it, you're going to have to get rushed to the hospital immediately. You're going to have to flush your stomach. And if they don't, you can die. So to us, the ice cream looks bomb. It's like a Haagen-Dazs, this, that, all that. You want to dig into it. But the Torah, like our mother, like our father, like our brother, someone we trust, comes and tells us, hey, don't eat that ice cream. It's poisonous. If you do it, you can die. Or this, or you can go to the hospital, or A, B, C, D. So many times there's also really good looking foods, tasty foods, all that are asur. But to us, we don't know, it looks good. The Torah is the one thing that breaks that illusion and gives you the crystal clear answer of what will be ahead of you if you eat or you don't eat, if you do, if you don't do, if you go, if you don't go. The Torah breaks that illusion. Rav is saying, look, when we said before, when the distance to the sun was 8 light minutes away, Rav went down into a whole thing, the astrology thing here, that every second is about, I think he said 300,000 kilometers each per second that would take from the distance, and then there's about 480 seconds in that 8 minutes. So if you calculate every second, if it's 300,000 kilometers, how long it would be, hundreds of millions of distance. I don't know how Rav knows all these stuff, but anyways, he gave us a whole breakdown. Anyways, so we see the whole point of this, what is the distance and the whole calculation that Harav gave down is that how much a person can get tricked by the eye. Illusion of the eye. So the Torah is what comes, and like we said before, it gives us it breaks that illusion. Not only that, it only breaks that illusion, it also breaks the illusion of how do we treat each other. We shouldn't fight with each other, we shouldn't speak lashon hara about each other, we shouldn't hold enemies, we should always be good with each other. Not only between us and not only between Hashem and Him, that you shouldn't eat this because of me, you shouldn't eat that because of it. No. Hashem is telling you also between yourselves. I'm telling you what illusions look like. You rethink, I should get mad or I can't get mad or whatever, and you let it go and you break that illusion between people. So Harav says if everybody would follow the laws of the Torah, there'd be no fighting, no stealing, no murder, no killing, no enemies, no fighting, holding grudges. All this stuff would go. Life would be Gan Eden. But because of all the sins, nobody listening to the Torah, they go against what the Torah holds. That's why life became like this. So Harav is saying also, if someone has a very bad attitude, he has crazy yells, screams, fosh, isn't good with anyone, he says take that very person, sit him down every day, teach him Torah for 5 hours, 6 hours, let him learn. Just teach, learn Torah. He says after 3 months, all of a sudden you see, that guy's a malach. 180-degree change. The guy goes from crazy to malach, the most sweetest person. Why? Because Harav is saying that a Torah is not like, when your shirt gets dirty, you throw it into the washing machine, what happens? It gets clean. He says Torah is like a washing machine for the soul. What happens is, it puts an effect. Harav said this many times before also in other shiurim that, I think Harav used an example. He said if you're an idiot and you're a stupid guy and you learn a lot of math, you're just a stupid guy who knows a lot of math. But Torah, if you're an angry guy or you're very upset or whatever, and you learn a lot of Torah, it changes your essence into a super nice guy and super knowledgeable in Torah. You don't become knowledgeable in Torah, but still the same way you are. So that's why there's very big Rabbanim that were so kind, so patient, that have such good attitudes, they're smiling, they're always good with everybody, they don't all of a sudden explode or lose their temper, all because of the Torah. The Torah is what gave them that ability to put their neshama in a washing machine and to put a protective barrier from those bad attributes.